Build Show is on the road. We are in Archbold, Ohio. We're going to introduce you to Nate Lange of Lange Custom Builders.
Hey.
Nate, this is your hometown, right?
Yeah, born and raised.
And you build all over this part of Ohio. We're kind of northwest Ohio, right?
Yep, Northwest Ohio, right by Indiana, right by Michigan.
It's a cold day, but we got a lot of good stuff to show you. The Build Show on the road, our Build Original series, Building Across America. Let's get going.
Build Across America, a Build Original series, is brought to you by Archland, Builder's First Source, Huber Engineered Woods, Pella, Truss, and View Rail.
Hey guys, before we jump into today's episode of Build Across America, I want to say big thanks to Pella for sponsoring this series. You know, Pella is a really old company building windows right in the heart of America, and I got to tell you, they make a really impressive product. I just finished a whole house build with Pella, and I used their Lifestyle series. That's their wood clad, and I also used some Impervia. That's their all fiberglass window, and I was incredibly impressed with their product. A couple things I want to mention specifically. First off, I didn't order anything special. I just ordered off the catalog windows, shall we say. But check out the results I got. I did a pre-mechanical blower door test at that house. This was actually at the Reisinger build, another series of videos that I shot. And I was totally blown away by how tight the house was. I had a Pella custom front door. I had a Pella slider in the back of the house, a Pella man door out the back of the house, and I had probably 30 some windows in the house. All the operable windows were a mixture of either push-out casement or the more traditional crank casements. And my blower door score was like 0.40 ACH 50. For my nerd friends out there, that means that was an incredibly tight house. And again, these were just off the shelf. There wasn't something crazy or special that I ordered. I didn't pay anything astronomical. They were actually a very reasonable window and door package, but I was super impressed. The other thing I want to mention about Pella, I really like that they're made right in the heart of America. You know, windows made in Pella, Iowa by Americans for Americans. This is a fabulous company. They've been around a long time, and I really have had a great experience with Pella. So you can learn more on their website. You can also talk to your local Pella dealer. I was very impressed. Thank you, Pella, for sponsoring this series. All right, Nate, our first job site in Ohio. This is gonna be fun. What are we gonna see here?
We got a custom home here that's got a little bit of everything, Matt. I want to show you this place. It's got a pool, it's got an elevator, we got SIP panels, we got Huber zip system on some of the walls. We got a little bit of everything. You're gonna love this place.
This is gonna be really fun, but you know what? I'm cold already, Nate, and I've been outside for 2 minutes. Let's go inside and check out this cool house.
All right, let's go.
All right, Nate, I gotta say, I'm a little confused. We got zip system sheathing, which I get. It's all taped and looking pretty. But then you've got some of the Siga peel and stick as well. What's the difference? What do you got going on here?
Great question. So we actually got a couple different building techniques going on here. So the Siga is over a SIP panel wall. So the SIPs don't come with the weather WRB on them.
Yep.
And so we chose to put the Siga over that.
Gotcha.
The zip you see that's a standard framed wall. Behind that center wall, we actually had to stop the SIP panels and put a moment frame in for the structure. And so then we framed walls inside of that moment frame and used the Huber zip on that part.
Okay, that makes sense. And I'm guessing the garage, since it has zip on it, was probably framed traditionally.
You got it.
And by the way, I love the metal roof. Big fan of metal roofs.
That is sharp.
Now talk to me about logistics. I suspect you do a lot of projects like this where you actually have some land around you. We're kind of in the middle of farm country, it feels like, around here. Yep. What's the purpose of all the trailers you have going on the job site here?
So we got a few different trailers. Because of the climate, we have to be careful on a project storage for materials and stuff like that. But we got a trailer for our tools. Okay. We got a trailer for like our scaffolding. So we haul that around job site to job site in a trailer. We also have a trailer that we use for trash. So we have trash barrels inside. Everybody can just bring it out and we put it in there. We also have a semi-trailer you can see from the side. That's for our window package. So our supplier for our windows actually provides that trailer for us.
Is that right?
Yeah, so they bring it out to the job site with the windows in it and park it, and then we can just pull the trailer or pull the windows out of the trailer
as you need them.
And so we got screens and mold pieces and trims and hardware, and they can all stay in there. They don't get lost in the house or beat up by, stuff going on.
That's fabulous.
So
I'd like to hear that.
That's a real cool partnership we have with our supplier that they do that for us.
That's very cool. Now, what's the big pull-up bar that I'm seeing at the bottom of the roof? We don't have those in Texas. What's the purpose of that?
That's for snow and ice. So in the winter times, like you said, our climate, we get a lot of snow. And so the snow will sit up there, and then a warm day will thaw it, and that ice and snow can just come flying off that roof. And when it's over doors and stuff, that's a big
You shut the front door and all of a sudden your wife gets buried in snow. I'm sure the clients don't like that.
Much needed.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
We got there.
Speaking of snow and ice, I'm getting cold again. Let's actually get inside.
All right, let's go.
We'll meet you in there. Hey Nate, before we pop inside, I'm curious, what's happening with this flashing over here? I see you got a big, white through-wall flashing here. What's happening?
Yeah, so there's actually going to be stone underneath here. So we're going to put a rain screen under here and put our stone on here.
Gotcha.
But above this is going to be board and batten. And we're actually using this, we're going to use this Benjamin Obdyke rain screen.
Okay.
And so we actually set up this AZEK. This is AZEK's paint grade material. You can paint over this. We set this up for the stone to run into, but we actually have it already set up ready for our rain screen and the final product.
Oh, look at that.
So you can see here, this is going to fit underneath there.
And we'll just slide right in.
And that'll slide right in there.
That's pretty neat. And is this a sample you got from AZEK?
Yeah.
It's actually got their, oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. That's going to look awesome. So you'll have a lot of AZEK on the outside of this house. Really low maintenance, works great in this climate.
Oh, yeah.
Takes paint well. Will you paint it or are you going to leave it there standard?
It's going to come pre-finished.
Pre-finished, okay.
Yeah.
So and then you'll probably just pin nail this on or finish nail it on, I suppose?
Yeah, so it comes in 4x8, 4x10 sheets, and you put them on, and then you can nail off the sides, and you nail right behind the battens.
Oh, I got you.
And then you put the battens on. You can see
it covers it.
Cortex screws here.
Oh, those Cortex screws are really high.
And they have the grain on them, so, back 3 feet, you can't even see them.
That's really nice.
So
I like it.
Really nice detail, but yeah, everything's gonna be AZEK above the stone.
Cool.
So, yep.
Let's go inside, everybody.
All right.
Oh man, I love a good job site tour, Nate. This is the perfect time to come see this job site.
It really is.
Look how pretty this is.
Check out these timbers.
Stained giant timbers and SIPS panels. This is cool. I like this a lot. Very impressive.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at? Talk to me about the SIPS panels. These walls that have the black tape in the OSB, that's your SIPS panel.
You got it.
And for someone watching who doesn't know what SIPS is, I think the actual acronym is Structural Insulated Panel.
Correct.
Lots of manufacturers out there, but they're pretty much all the same, where you've got an OSB skin on both the inside and the outside. And then the core has a varying thickness of EPS foam, so they come pre-insulated.
Yep.
And depending on panel size, some of them can get quite giant. In fact, as I'm looking up on your roof, I'm seeing a huge panel of OSB with no black tape.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing some of these roof panels are real big.
They can come 8 foot by 24 foot.
Holy cow.
So they can come giant panels.
Yeah, that's serious.
They can come different thicknesses too. So we have a different thickness on the wall than the ceiling for the R value in that.
Right, so your R value is thicker on the roof. You maybe have a 10 or 12 inch SIPS panel on the roof and a 8 or a 6 on the walls, something like that.
Yep, 6.5 on the walls, 12.5 on the roof.
Gotcha, and then the black tape is a seam tape. So when they're putting those panels together, there's usually, like when we visited the extreme panel jobs, there's usually some type of adhesive or air sealing kind of glue in the spline where those panels come together. And then for a belt and suspenders, they've used this black tape on the inside. And it's gonna be a little hard to tell, but like on the ridge, it looks like there's black tape on there as well at the ridge, is that right?
Yeah, so when you set the ridge, you actually have to put the tape on first, and then you set the panels into it, so you have that continuity across the ridge, and you get that seal. And so actually the ridges are made where they actually come like a V, so they're a little bit wider at the ridge.
Gotcha.
And so you put that tape on, close that up, seal it up nice, and then you fill that top in with spray foam and make that ridge, airtight, watertight, everything.
Yeah, and we really want that airtight exterior panel on any house, but especially important on a SIPS construction. Sure. And think about that ridge, you know, it's 20 degrees outside. The outside of that SIPS panel is pretty dang cold. If we were to leak our humid air in the wintertime through that ridge, we could cause problems and ridge rot, which in the 1970s was kind of a problem before they figured out that issue, corrected today. But you know, builders like Nate and I have really focused on making this airtight shell. So then on the outside of the SIPs, on the outside of the building, we saw you use that peel and stick product from Sega. Right. That's your water and air barrier on the outside of the SIPs, right?
You got it. So because of what you're talking about, we don't want to trap that moisture in. So both on the roof and on the outside, we picked products that vapor could actually get through.
Vapor open.
Vapor open.
Right.
Yeah, so on the roof, we actually have Benjamin Obdike's Vapor Dry SA.
Oh yeah, cool.
And so we can allow that moisture if for some reason there's a void in something that we did,
right.
We're not trapping it in there and rotting those SIPs.
That's really smart.
So we really want to be careful. Those SIPs are our structure, and it's OSB, so we want to really protect those well.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
That Sega does the same thing for our walls.
And it's such a good marriage between these large SIPs panels and this wood, because this wood appears to be structural timbers, right?
You got it. Yeah, so this is a timber frame home, but it's not 100% timber frame for structure. We have decorative timbers in different spots, but the section we're standing in, everything you see here is structural.
Is structural.
Yep, so these timbers get set first, and then the SIP panels get attached around them.
Gotcha.
So kind of a cool process.
And these timbers are not small. It will be fun later if we get a chance to go to the basement. I bet you had to do some special things to make sure your bearing went all the way through down to your foundation, because we got a full basement under this house, right? Which is typical for this part of Ohio. Your frost line is what, 30 inches?
Yeah, about 36 inches.
36 inches. So no matter what you do, you have to go 36 inches down, even if you're putting a deck pier in, right?
Right. Yep. So typically we're going 4 foot. Is kind of a standard, so we just get below all that stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then basements around here are almost always what, 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot?
Well, they used to be 8 foot, but now we're going 9, 10. So this basement is a 10-foot basement.
Is it really? Okay. Cool. When we go down there, we'll check out that that panel size in the basement.
Yeah.
Did these come pre-stained and then you guys put them together, or what's happening with the stain on this?
No, so they come from the manufacturer with the edge profiles on them, and they run them through like a big kind of a sander. But during the process of building, they get dinged up, or we're trying to be careful with them, but straps and stuff. So we actually have to go around and we sand everything.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we sand everything with orbital sanders and get all the scratches or glue off of it or whatever got on it.
So that's why they look so good right now, because you put a sand on these and made them look perfect.
There's a lot of work that goes into that. And then, we're putting a finish on the outside. A Rubio Monocoat, their interior finish.
And are these pegs just decorative, or what's happening with this peg? It appears to be Doug fir, but the pegs look like maybe they're white oak. Am I seeing that right?
You got it. Yeah. So the pegs are structural. So these are a mortise and tenon construction.
Wow.
So there's a tenon that comes off of here through here, and then when we set this, everything's laid flat on the ground, and we drive those pegs in, and then we stand it up. So this is, you're seeing the structure. There's no metal fasteners in there.
There's no Simpson hardware buried in there somewhere. It's literally a piece of white oak holding that pin together.
Yeah.
And then what's the stain used on the outside of this? This is a real matte finish. It's pretty.
Yeah, so it's Rubio Monocoats.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oil Plus 2C.
Okay.
And this is the Castle Brown color.
Gotcha.
And so it's a 2-part thing. You mix it together, you buff it in. What we really like about it is it's super easy to touch up.
Oh yeah.
So we've protected these, right? We got this great protection on here.
Nice job on the Warmboard protection. But if something were to happen, which always does in construction, you can touch it up.
You can sand it, touch it up, do what you need to, and you never see it.
Really smart.
Yep.
Now, how come you've covered your subfloors at this early stage of construction? Do you have Advantech down here that you're just trying to keep clean, or what's going on?
Nope, this is actually Warmboard. So the subfloor is from Warmboard, and Warmboard subfloor fits their PEX in it. And so we already have the PEX in the floor, but the thing is with that, we don't want dirt to get jammed down in around that PEX. So we've cleaned this floor, we've put this ram board down to protect it. That's our temporary heat for this job. So the floor is on.
Got it. That's why I'm warm in here. It's because you're warming it with your Warmboard floor.
You got it.
Oh, that's really smart to cover at this stage. That ram board, once it's all taped, no dust is going to get down in there. When you pull this and put your, I don't know what your final floor is going to be, hardwoods maybe, or something else?
3/4 hardwood.
Okay, so then when they nail those hardwoods down, this is going to be nice and clean for them. That's really smart.
Yep.
That's right. What's this big room I'm seeing with a vault this direction, Nate?
Yeah, come on in here. This is the master bedroom.
Ooh, look how pretty this is.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of an office area here that we're coming in first, gonna have a desk and stuff. And then this is gonna be a beautiful view down here on the end. The bed's gonna sit there with this vaulted ceiling above it.
And now we can see a few of the details on, for instance, the electrical. If we look up here, you're noticing a couple of, I don't know what those are, 5-inch hole saws with some wires sticking out. There's chases in the SIPS panel. Has your electrician done a SIPS job before?
This was his first one.
How'd he do?
He did really well.
Good.
He had a positive attitude through the whole thing.
That's great.
You know, inventive, you know, looking at the different chases, and he was just ready to go. So
that's awesome.
I was very pleased with what he did.
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
But
now,
just a second, one of the things that we do for him with that is we actually put these pictures on the wall. So we get these, and they show all the chases in here.
Oh, so those dashed lines I'm seeing is a horizontal or a vertical chase?
Yeah, so when he's laying out the lights and stuff, he can walk over here to this and see exactly where the chase is. And so when he pops those circles in, he's not like guessing.
Right.
You know, he's like, I know there's a chase here. I've planned for it, and this is where I'm going to run my wires.
And they've purposely thought of, hey, here's our can, or here's our light, or a point source. And outlets, I'm assuming, are also on that same grid. That grid is probably at what, 15 inches or whatever the outlet height is?
There's actually a chase at 14 inches and 48.
Okay, there you go, 14 and 48.
So you can hit any of those and run left or right or whatever you need to do.
That's really smart, Nate.
So yeah, we go through the electrical plan at the beginning with the designer, with the SIPS guys, and we tell them, hey, we think we're going to have a chandelier in this room, or we need can lights in this room. And so then they try to strategically put those chases in, and this job worked great.
Yeah. Now, the astute person watching this, who's watched a bunch of build shows in the past, is going to say, why is there framing on this wall? I bet I know the answer, but I want to ask you, because they're asking right now, why is there framing on this wall?
So that's a change order. So this wall was first designed with wide windows. So where you see the framing was all going to be window. But it really limited where the bed could go. And so what we did was we just made those windows singles. The bed's going to go there. It's going to be a beautiful focal point in this room. So yeah, a little change.
Which actually shows in some respects the power of SIPS, because you didn't have to cut out and put a header in there. The structure was still intact. You probably have some structure coming down from that ridge beam right there. And so as a result, there was no header needed for those windows. And so it was a matter of getting your, what do they call that heated wire out to cut the insulation out. And then foam burners, and then put some regular framing in, and boom, now we've got a framed wall.
You got it.
Put some closed cell foam in, and you're good to go again.
Yeah, that's what you're seeing there.
Pretty smart. Master bathroom. Ooh, look at this sweet aluminum frame. Is that a cavity slider?
It is a cavity slider. Yep.
I use these.
Super slick there.
I use these in my house. I like them.
Yeah,
they're
nice. Really nice.
Have you used them before?
This is our second job. Yep. And so you see the cavity slider here, but the reason we have a framed wall on the other side is because we actually have faucets that are going to come out of the wall. And so there was a faucet coming right out of the wall right here, so we had to thicken this wall to make that happen for the plumbing.
Makes sense.
So cavity slider can come in a 2x6, 2x4, whatever kind of wall. So we just got it here for a 2x4 wall, and then put that other wall on the other side.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What's the stool? Is somebody using this to climb on? What's going on with this little stool in the middle of the room that seems to be screwed down to the floor?
That's another piece of protection. So that's a toe kick heat, or actually not heat because the Warmboard is the heat, but toe kick air conditioning coming out there. And
gotcha.
So when they put that in, you know, something could get dropped on there and damage that. So that'll stay on there through the life of the project until we set those cabinets. And then run that out the toe kicks.
That's really smart. Good protection for that. And so the whole heat in the house is coming from the floors, radiant heat, no sound, very gentle heat. But now what do we do with air conditioning? Because you guys get pretty warm in the summer. It can get to, 85, maybe even 90 degrees on a really hot day.
Yeah.
So then you guys have a separate cooling system from the Warmboard that maybe is only needed a few days a year, but still needed.
Yep.
Now, what am I seeing with this big orange box right here on the wall?
Yeah.
That has a white pipe to it. You know, when I see a white pipe, I'm always thinking it's a vent pipe, but you don't see normally orange outlet covers on vent pipes.
Yep. That is a hide hose. So that's it's a central vac system.
Kind of like a shop vac hose hidden in there?
You got it. So this is just a plaster ring. This is a plaster ring on here.
Okay.
So we don't get any damage or mud in there. But when this comes off, there'll be a cover that goes on, and there's 50 foot of hose. You just pull it right out of there, and there's a button in there. You turn it on, you can clean your whole house.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's pretty
cool.
neat. I like central vac systems, but I've never seen the hide hose before.
Yeah. Well, when we go into the pool one actually hooks up to water. So you have a water and shop vac system out there, and that's also in the garage. So
almost forgot about the pool.
Really cool system.
Let's go, let's transition. You mentioned the garage. It seems like it's right on the other side of the house. Let's go check out the garage. We'll meet you over there.
All right. Garage is right over this way, Matt. Let's go over here.
Hold on a sec, Nate. Before we go there, what am I seeing? Is this a window to the garage?
This is the pantry, Matt, and this is a Costco window that you can slide open, and it comes right into the garage. You just pop your
Welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you?
Would you like fries with that?
Would you like fries with that? That is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So now when you pull your truck into the garage, you unload all your Costco stuff right into your pantry.
Yeah, so the countertop's going to come right up underneath here. And so literally you just set it right on the countertop.
Yeah, I like it.
Slick.
For all the code wonks out there, you know, does this exactly meet code? Maybe. You know, there's a 1 hour firewall technically that needs to be between the house and the garage in most areas. But this is going to seal like an outside window. We're going to keep the fumes out of the garage. It'd be super easy for someone to retrofit this after Nate and I leave the job and get your final inspection. So it's maybe on the gray side of does it meet code, but I love it. I think it's a fabulous idea. I would definitely do this in my house. I like it. Man, this is a nice garage.
Yeah, check this space out.
I like it.
So first thing when you walk in, you can see the ceiling. We actually frame the ceiling down so these garage doors slide up into the ceiling.
Oh,
and it's gonna just create an amazing clean ceiling. We can put lights up there. It's gonna look stunning.
I've never seen that before, Nate. So what he's done is the tracks went on first, and then he framed down the ceiling with just some, you know, regular 2x6 framing.
Yep.
So now when those garage doors are up, and by the way, if you haven't realized that there's a front garage door and a back garage door. So both bays you can fully drive through. Yep. You don't need to back out of your garage at all. And both those garage doors are kind of hidden into the space when they're up.
Yeah, that's what really drove the decision to do it, is because you got two garage doors coming up like this. So where's your lights gonna go? You know, it just keeps a nice clean look. Yeah. So we've done a few different things. It's got jack drive openers on the side.
I love those.
So all the mechanical parts of the opener are accessible.
Yeah.
There's an attic above, so you can crawl in. You can actually get to the tracks if you need to service them or do anything there.
Even if you needed to replace them someday, you could do that without having to break into that ceiling.
You got it. Yeah, and you could fold them sideways, put new ones in there, whatever you need to do. So
that's really neat.
We thought through a bunch of the details on it. It's pretty cool. Can't wait till it's done.
I love how light and light filled the garage is too. I'm not used to seeing garage doors that have 2 layers of windows. It's interesting here. You can't tell they're tinted, but outside they looked kind of dark tinted to me. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, the tinting's cool because on the outside you can't see in. But man, look at all the light we have. I know we have a light on, but just a lot of natural light popping in here.
And these must be insulated because it feels great in this garage space.
Yeah, so this is heated. This has radiant heat in the floors.
Okay.
Yep, and so we wanted to make sure the garage doors had good insulation in as well. So these are like, I think, an R17 door.
Beautiful. So, who's the manufacturer on these doors?
Haas Door.
Haas?
You got it.
Okay.
Yep. They're actually local here.
Is that right?
Yep, just in town next to us here. They get made in Waseon, Ohio.
Oh, interesting. Now I'm noticing that you've got some amount of spray foam on the walls. I mean, it looks like maybe an inch or less. Is that all you're doing for insulation in this house? What's going on with this?
We're gonna fill those up completely with closed cell foam, but because it's wintertime and we're building through the winter and we have the radiant floor heat on, this just helps us keep the heat in here. We got the ceilings fully insulated.
Got it.
We got the walls, you know, 1.5 inches on those. So it just keeps it insulated. The electrician, you know, he can still run his wires.
Yeah, 2x6 wall, put an inch in there, you got plenty of space to run electrical. It also allows you to come in and seal all that stuff too and really make it nice. And now this house under construction is perfectly comfortable.
Yep.
And it's also going to allow everything to dry out correctly. It means your homeowners are going to have less movement in the 2 years after they move in with drying, which happens a lot in both production houses and custom homes because they shrink and dry as the heat gets turned on later. It's really smart to run temporary construction heat.
Yeah, and it's especially important with the timbers because we're actually finishing the timbers like you saw. Yep. And so we can't do that unless we're conditioned in here.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. Now, what's up with the weird piping I'm seeing here? I've got 2 sets of pipes coming out of the wall. Are you doing 2 sinks side by side?
Well, we got a lot of different things going on here. So the first thing you'll notice is we actually had to frame this wall out here. This is a SIP wall.
Okay, so there's no plumbing in these walls.
No, we couldn't get the plumbing in there. So we framed this little wall. There's actually going to be a mop sink where you're standing, so you can come in, wash your hands.
So your big deep sink,
Yep.
you can clean off your paint brushes or do whatever you need to.
Then these are going to be hot and cold that you can hook a hose to. So you could actually get a hose, hook it up, wash your vehicle. We got good drainage in the floor.
I saw those drains in the floor. That's really nice.
So you can come out here and wash a car in the wintertime in this garage and have hot water.
Smart.
And then down here we were talking about the central vac system.
Yeah.
That's the vac system. One of those is the water port and one of them's the suction back.
Oh my gosh.
And so
in other words, this red line that's PEX, this is hot water going to a port. It almost acts like your, what do they call that at the car wash that has the suction and has the water?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
almost
about.
Almost like a carpet scrubber kind of, right?
Yep.
So that's the nozzle attachment on the or on this wet, dry style central vac.
Something spills on the floor, you can clean it up, wash your mats out on your car, whatever you need to do.
That's really smart.
Set
you spill a Coke on the floor and then you could just use this wand to suck up all the nasty syrup and you're good to go.
Yeah, the cool thing about it all goes back to a central unit and it sprays water inside the unit and it cleans itself.
Is that right?
So it goes down the drain and so it's like just dirt going down into the drain, but it has a bag that collects the big dirt. And so you just have to replace that bag every now and then. It's like a kind of a mesh bag.
That's so neat. What's the brand on that? I'm curious.
I'm not sure the brand, but the ports and stuff are Chameleon.
Okay. Chameleon. We'll have to check that out. Is there a spot downstairs in the basement where that lands?
Yeah, in the mechanical room in the back, there's piping that comes down there.
Okay. You mentioned there's a pool. I think we might need to go check out the pool space.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
All right, I'll meet you at the pool.
Well, welcome to the pool room, Matt. Come on in.
Okay, I'm confused. I don't see any big holes in the ground that you normally would expect when there's a pool under construction. What's happening here?
Yeah, so we actually framed this deck over the pool. So the pool is the very first thing we did. The pool guys came, set their pool. We set all the foundations off the pool height. And so that pool is buried underneath this deck.
Got it. So this is really just so you can work on top, take care of the timbers, frame it, and you're not worried about somebody falling backwards or doing some kind of weird railing protection on a pool.
Right.
Really
we have
smart.
a lot of stuff going on in the ceiling. We have to take care of the timbers. We got to put wood on the ceiling. We actually have spiral ductwork that's going around the whole thing for HVAC system.
Cool.
And so everybody's got to work on top of it, and this is just, time saver.
I love me some spiral duct. So then this on the outside I noticed was green zip. So this is regular framing. But it appears in here like you've got a SIPS roof again.
Yeah, so we went for the SIPS roof because of the ease of install. We have a structural timber frame in here.
Okay.
So every single one of these panels came in, individually 24 foot long or whatever, and we set them in here super quick and easy. But the walls with all the windows, it just didn't make sense to get SIP panels because they would have to make them very similar to a framed wall to get all those openings.
Yeah.
So we just did that conventionally and pop those windows in that way.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, I'm a little worried about seeing all this raw dug fir or stained dug fir, frankly, in an area like a pool that's going to be super humid. You probably had to do some mitigation for humidity and space conditioning in here. What are you doing in here?
So all the heat in this pool room is coming from one centralized boiler. So this boiler over here is doing 3 different things. It's heating the pool water.
Okay.
So there's a titanium heat exchanger over here.
Oh,
and
wow.
so it's running through that. It's not connected to the pool. The pool is going to be a saltwater pool. And so the water can go through here, exchange the heat. So it's heating all the water in the pool. It's heating our floor. So there's a little manifold there. The floor in this isn't necessarily to heat the whole space. It's just to keep it warm.
Okay.
So you're swimming in the wintertime or summer and you want that floor to be warm on your feet.
Not to be freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it also goes out to a coil, and which is going to be on top of an air handler over there, and that's going to run to our forced air heat, the spiral ductwork as well. And so what you're seeing there is our dehumidifier.
Look how big this thing is, dude. Wow. This is the Quest 506 dehumidifier, which, if I remember correctly, they number their dehumidifiers like BMW numbers their cars. So that is a 506 pint dehumidifier, which is absolutely ginormous.
That's like 55 gallons of water a day if you need it. It takes out of the air.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
So when you're doing that, you have to make sure that you recirculate that water back to the pool. Think if we took 50 gallons of water out of that pool every day, you would have to fill it constantly. So it's taking it out of the air, you know, and putting it back into the pool.
Dumping it back in.
So that we're not losing pool water. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep.
How did you figure out all the mechanicals on this? Did you have to get a separate engineer to do it? Have you guys done this before?
We've done it before. We've done different pool houses before. Between the pool manufacturer, the guys that do the pool, and my HVAC guy, they ran all the load calculations on it, figured out how much, you know, they took the temperature of the water, asked the client, hey, what's your average water temperature you think it's going to be? What do you think the air is going to be? Because they've swam in indoor pools before, they have some idea.
Gotcha.
So you take the water temperature and you take the air temperature and you can calculate how much moisture is coming off that pool and how much we're going to have to pick up. So yeah, they did it all.
So this has actually been size, not just what's the biggest one they made, kind of.
You got it.
And in fact, they do make bigger ones than this, believe it or not. Quest is the sister company to Santa Fe, which I use a lot of their dehumidifiers. And as a weird side note, Quest really kind of blew up when the grow houses and the cannabis industry started going crazy. So apparently they use a lot of this massive style dehumidifiers in these grow houses. So we benefit in the building world by having good access to equipment, though.
Yeah.
Pretty neat, man.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool room.
You know, I want to see the mechanicals in the rest of the house. I wonder if we could do a basement tour next.
Sure, yeah, those are down in the basement. Let's go.
Okay, meet you in the basement.
All right, Matt, come on down in the basement. We actually have 10-foot basement walls, but we hung the joists in here so that it comes down and gives us like a 9-foot.
This is nice.
Ceiling.
I like. Hold on foundation talk. We got to talk about this first. Look at this door.
This is an in-home safe.
Oh my gosh.
We framed out the concrete wall. You know, you can see this. This is actual concrete. It's a form on there that makes the brick pattern. But we framed out this concrete wall, and then we did a perfect size for this. This gets bolted to the wall from the inside.
Look at that thing, man. That is a beast, Nate. I love it.
Yeah, it's
it literally looks like a bank vault door.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So you can use this for a bunch of things. You can, you know, store guns or whatever you want in here. You can also use it as like a tornado shelter.
Heck yeah.
So this door is set up on the back side that you can't lock yourself in. So there's a pin that you pull out and a handle you can turn.
Gotcha.
And it completely isolates it from this outside, so you can't, like someone can't hold this from the outside and hold you in here.
Sure.
You know, and if you notice, the door actually opens in. So if it's a tornado shelter, something falls in front of that door, you can always get out.
Right, you're not trying to push against the debris, let's say.
You got it.
Yeah, that's smart. Is tornadoes an issue for you in this section of the world?
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked really flat as we were driving in here. There was not a lot of rolling hills.
Not much going on in
So if something
Ohio.
touches down here, it could easily wipe something out.
Yep, they come through here.
So are we fully concreted in? Like, is there concrete above this metal that I'm seeing here?
Yeah, so this metal we used as the form, so they built a structure under here and then poured on that metal. We got 6 inches of concrete on top, steel reinforced, and all encapsulated as well for the walls.
I love it.
Yep, we got a mini split unit coming in here to dehumidify the air and stuff like that. and then we're actually going to have a couple ports that bring fresh air in if you were using it as a tornado shelter.
Fabulous.
So you don't come in here and suck all the air out.
Makes sense.
Yep.
And I want to mention the brick pattern on your forms is really nice. Is this your concrete guys' normal pattern?
Yeah.
I like this. It really does look, I mean, you could almost grout these joints and people would think this was brick.
So
faux paint it?
We've had clients faux paint it. Yeah.
Have you really?
I was gonna say.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It's a nice form board. It looks great. It came out real nice. Depending on where you are in the country, you know, there's areas that are block foundations. There's areas that are poured concrete. Where I am, I'm slab on grade. So unless I'm really doing a big excavation job, which I have done a few, I almost never pour a basement. And when I do, it's always smooth finish because we pour so few of them. We don't have standard 10-foot forms, right? We're always making MDO plywood forms.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to see this. Now, what's the steel column doing in the middle here?
So those are the supports for the timbers above. So like I said, that timber is a full structure, and so it has to be posted all the way down to the footers.
Okay, so this up here is a block that's bringing that weight-bearing load of that timber down. Yeah. And is that what I'm seeing here too, where these cutouts in the foundation are happening?
Yeah. So when we were on a concrete wall, we just had the concrete guys, you know, run a pilaster out there, and so we could set right on top of that. But some of the ones on the inside, we used the alley columns for those to pick up the load. Okay. So we put those down first, bolt them to the footers, and then we pour around those.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it transfers the weight really well.
Now, tell me about these trusses for your floors. Is that a standard detail in Ohio? I think of Ohio as an I-joist place, which means that when you get a trunk line like that coming through, there's usually a big fur down.
You got it.
These trusses make it really nice. Are you unusual in this area using these?
Yeah, we switched over to use those just for that reason. I was always telling our plumbing guys and HVAC guys, like, I want clean ceilings. I want clean ceilings. And we'd have to work around those I-joists and try to figure out how we're going to do that. Yep. And finally, I just switched over to these, and you can actually tell the manufacturers where the trunk lines are going to go. Yeah. And so if you do some of that pre-planning, you get these amazing clean ceilings and basements, and
That's
really
raises
nice.
It up. Besides maybe one little fur down here for the steel beam.
Yep.
Other than that, even this big metal trunk line that I'm seeing here coming down has it. And speaking of HVAC systems, is this where all your warm boards coming right here?
So this is some of the manifolds. So we have these supply lines that come out to the manifolds. And so Warmboard actually specifies where we put the manifolds because of the loops up in the upstairs. Okay. And so like you see 3 different manifolds here, but they all do a bunch of different things. Like this one's the garage, and this one's part of the upstairs, and then this one's like the basement. But they get all wireless connections to all these. And so each one of these comes on and off depending on the zoning upstairs.
Wow, that's neat. So these are actually a wireless zone of some sort that tells it to...
They will be.
They will be, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
So these come off of here. Something comes off of here, I'm not exactly sure, but something
this is still
comes
the
off.
temporary construction loop at this point.
Yeah, so this will come off, and then a cap will go on. And so this is a 110 coming in that'll have an outlet, and there'll be a wireless controller that sits here and talks directly to the boiler then.
Yeah, these are nice. So. Warmboard, by the way, if I understand correctly, sells all these parts and ships it all in one kit along with some great engineering on the house too, am I right?
Correct, yep. We get fully engineered plans from them that are very detailed. Anybody can read them. It shows exactly where the manifolds go. We work with their team to say, hey, we think it would fit in good in this spot. So we kind of pick this spot, you know, it's close to the garage and all that. Yep. We kind of pick this spot with them, and then they go through all the engineering. One load comes out with the panels. The next load comes out with all the manifolds and PEX and stuff. And then the last load comes out with the boiler. Beautiful. And all the electronic pieces.
It's a premium system for sure. Let's go see where the boiler is. I'm assuming it's right around the corner this direction.
Yeah, the mechanical room's down here.
It's worth noting that Warmboard is the kind of Lexus of heating systems. Yeah. And you're going to notice that he's got a boiler for his Warmboard, but he's also got a separate AC system for air conditioning. And this climate is pretty heating dominated. I'd have to look up your heating degree days per year, but it's pretty high. Yeah. So you really need a good heating system. and then a decent AC system in a lot of ways too, because we do have these hot, humid days in the summertime.
Correct.
This is a really top line premium system. And you've used Warmboard before, right?
Yeah, we have. Yep.
It's not your first project.
Warmboard. Yeah. So we started using Warmboard before they had like their warm source and their comfort system, and we would have to do all the piping and all the mix or the pumps and stuff, and it was just like a giant wall. They've made a system now that comes down to this.
That's amazing.
And it's super slick.
So this is a Lochinvar boiler combined with all the piping and all the kind of gizmos that need to happen for getting hot water to here. But this is not doing your domestic hot though, right?
Correct. Yep. Not domestic. That's a different system.
Do you have any idea how many BTUs this is? Is this 200,000 probably?
Yeah, it's
maybe more.
It's their biggest one.
It's probably up there. We'd have to check out the guide. I bet
if it's like 200 or 299 or something.
It's up there.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing this guy is actually doing your domestic hot for the house.
Correct.
This tankless unit.
Yep.
So propane for both these.
Yep.
Propane source here, and this is a high efficiency system as well as this guy. You're going to notice these two white pipes. That's something I really like seeing on job sites, because now Nate, when he penetrates the envelope with both his supply air and his exhaust fumes, he can seal around those really tightly. And all the action in here that's the combustion is sealed combustion. So there's no air that needs to be brought in. There's no fresh air pipe that needs to be brought in. That's a metal pipe with some 80% flue going through the through the roof. This is a really nice system.
Yeah, you got it. Yep.
Walk me through the AC and what's this extra big white box I'm seeing here?
So we actually have dehumidification on the whole house, and so that's really important with a timber frame as well. We want to dial that humidity down to right at the right percentage.
Yep.
And a house that doesn't have this can fluctuate, but we can just dial that right in, and no condensation on the windows, and it keeps the timbers at a good humidity level too. So
that's really nice.
Great piece.
And relatively small, I suspect, on the air conditioner, because you don't need a giant amount of engine to run an air conditioner in a house like this. We got another job site to hit, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
What are we heading to next?
It's about a half an hour away. It's about half an hour south of here. We're actually in the framing process. So.
Ooh, exciting.
So bundle up. We're going to be outside. It's going to be cold.
All right, guys. We'll see you at the next job site we hit in Ohio. So it feels to me like we're a little beyond framing on this project. Is this what you consider framing?
Yeah, well, we were so close. I thought I'd bring you past the shop and my parents' house that we built for them. This is a great example of the craftsmanship that we put into homes.
I mean,
so let's pop in here quick.
This is gorgeous, man. Look at this house. I love it.
There's a lot of cool details on this one, and a lot of houses that we built actually follow some of the details with this. People see it, and it's a pretty cool show.
I mean, talk about a show home, and then how cool that your office and shop space is right here. I don't know if we've talked about it on camera yet, but you guys do your own cabinets.
Yep.
So you've got some cabinet making in here. You've got your office in this space.
Yep.
Kind of a little bit of a family compound here. I love it, and I bet your clients love coming to see this gorgeous house.
Yeah, so when like we're over there in the office, we can stop over here and talk about windows or siding or what we need to show them, so it's a lot of details we like to show.
Man, what is that pretty wood that I'm seeing here?
That's clear cedar.
Is it really?
Yeah.
God, that's gorgeous.
So it's clear cedar.
Pre-finished or no?
We actually finished it, pre-finished, and then we put another coat on it after it was on the wall.
All stainless steel trim heads, it looks like.
Yep.
Man, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, there's a rain screen behind it as well.
And is this standard framing? Is this SIPs? What do you got here?
This is same as the last one that we were just at.
Is that right?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
So it's SIP construction, and then like the garage is standard framing.
And somebody's got some high performance appliances in there, because I'm seeing a exhaust vent, and it's very cool air too. There's hardly any heat in that exhaust.
That's coming off the boiler. So this has Warmboard as well. So
is
this
that right?
has the Warmboard system. It's a high efficiency boiler.
I think those boilers are 98%, something like that. They're
96 or 98, I can't remember what it is.
High efficiency.
Yep.
And boy, these stone details are gorgeous. This looks like Luder's limestone like I'd use in Texas. Is this locally quarried,
Yeah, that's local.
That's real pretty.
Limestone.
That's a limestone too?
Yeah.
That's pretty, man. I love the gray tones in here are really cool.
Yeah, this is actually a full thickness stone sitting on a brick ledge, so it's got an air gap behind it.
Love it, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How about we go see the inside?
Come on in, Matt.
Oh man, look at this. Wow.
It's a little warmer in here, isn't it?
Oh, this feels great. This Texas boy is cold outside. I love the timber frame. This does feel like a little bit of the house that we came from.
Yeah.
I can see why your clients came here and then the architect cued off of that. Because obviously a totally different floor plan, but beautiful. And similarities.
Yeah, very similar. This is a white oak frame, so it's a little bit different detail on some of the grains of the wood. But yeah, really similar in details. The wood ceiling, the marble sills like we were talking about.
So instead of Doug fir, we've got white oak.
Yep.
What's our floor here?
White oak as well.
It's white oak as well. Look how wide those planks are.
Yeah.
Those are really pretty.
3/4 engineered. So
I like the dark stain too. It's real nice. And then you went with a lighter stain on these.
Yep.
And I also like the contrast on your, it's not drywall. Is this plaster on here?
That's plaster, yeah.
Ooh,
it's like a
pretty.
freestyle plaster, so you can see
pretty.
some dimension to it.
I like that a lot.
Yep.
This difference in texture is real pretty. And then you've got this 2.5-story stone fireplace here.
Yeah, see-through.
You've got some gorgeous light fixtures. This is really pretty.
Check out this staircase.
Ooh, look at that staircase.
Yeah,
is that a view rail flight that I'm seeing?
That's exactly right.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's a V-rail flight staircase.
So if you don't know this company, this is it's actually made not far from here.
Yeah, Indiana.
In, Indiana. And they're really known for these really interesting, modern, very high craftsmanship. But this is made in their factory and then assembled on site.
Yep.
And they've got a kind of a contemporary rail system going on here with a stainless rod. Yep. I actually have real similar setups on my rails, even though I have a very traditional stair, because I use the V-rail railing at my house. And look at that beautiful sill.
Yeah,
Did you do this in the whole house?
Yeah, we did. These are marble sills.
That's gorgeous.
And so we brought some of the stone from the outside in. So this is a little bit thicker than normal wall. You can see how thick this sill is.
I love it.
But yeah, it just adds this cool detail, goes right up underneath the windows.
That's beautiful. And then you stained your windows to kind of match the timbers. And
Yep.
it looks like those might be white oak as well.
They are. So these are the E-Series windows from Anderson.
Okay.
And you can pick the wood on the inside.
Beautiful.
And so we got the white oak on those as well. So
I love it, man.
Just good details. You can match those wood species. It's pretty cool.
Gorgeous. As a side note, one thing when you do timber houses, you have to know and prep people for the checking that will happen.
Yeah.
You know, just to make sure people's expectations are aligned. Because I remember one of my early jobs, I did some white oak like this. It had some checking that developed over time. The customers thought it was a mistake or a problem, but this is just what happens with this wood. And it's part of the beauty of a natural wood.
Yep.
That's not fake. This is a true thickness. This isn't a veneer, right? But that checking that happens is just part of the beauty of the of the system.
Some of those pockets kind of pull and move and stuff, but yeah, that's what you get when you get the real wood and the real wood construction of the timbers. So.
For sure. It's interesting how this is so close to your shop space. I suspect some of your custom clients kind of almost feel like this is a little bit of not a showroom or a model home, but a bit of an ode to your craftsmanship, right?
Yeah, we like to bring them over here and entertain or just show them around a little bit. Yeah. And so we've used a lot of the same products that we use in our homes, so it's a great piece for that too.
Thanks for the sidebar, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Now we should probably go back and go see the house under construction.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you back over there.
So Lange Custom Builders was started by my father back in 1998. He was working a couple different jobs and started Lange Custom Builders. He went out on his own and decided, hey, we can make a go of this thing, and really loved to build. He was a cabinet maker at heart, so he worked in the cabinetry business, and so he had that craftsman feel, and he decided to go for it. And so I grew up in Lange Custom Builders, working with him, and just in and out of job sites and moving trucks in the evening with him, and now I'm doing it full time. So 25 years later, I'm full time in the business, bought the company, and have a great team of guys. My dad still works with the company, and we're building amazing houses for amazing clients, and we love it. So the Build Show Network has tons of benefits for a builder like me. So they put out content weekly from people across the United States in all sorts of different fields. And as a builder, I have to be an expert in plumbing. I have to be an expert in HVAC. I have to be an expert in WRB materials for the outside of homes. I have to be an expert in windows. I have to be an expert in every single aspect that goes into a home. And so the Build Show Network just encapsulates all that. There's experts in each field. You can watch videos. I remember one time the audio visual guy was gonna come out to the house, and I was like, man, I don't know anything about, you know, access points and racking and all this stuff. And I go on their website, and Matt is putting out a video about audio visual equipment. And I was able to watch the video. I was able to go to the house, ask the right questions for the tech that was coming out, and ultimately have a better solution for our clients. So it's just across the board, the Build Show Network just puts out content that's so valuable for people like me that are trying to learn, you know, build better, do things better for our clients, and ultimately give them an awesome experience in the end. And so it started way back with Matt putting videos out, but it's developed into something amazing. And I brought one of my guys down, and we went to the Build Show Live in Texas this last year. And just the conversations, just the community that this Build Show Network has developed is amazing. Sitting around the table, talking with people that just want to, you know, they're in the same boat as I am. You know, they're trying to provide an amazing experience for their client, a great product for their client, and they're asking questions like, hey, I've used this product. If you have, like, what sort of challenges did you find? And everybody's just, you know, trying to raise the bar. That's exactly what we're trying to do here in Northwest Ohio. We're trying to change the culture of building. We're trying to raise that bar and provide better products for our clients. And the Build Show Network is right on par with that. They have the same mindset as we do, and it's just been a great thing for us.
Nate, another cool job. I love framing. What do we got?
We got a 7,000 square foot house here.
A little small one, you know, like
Yeah.
a little carriage house, right?
Yep.
7,000 feet.
A lot of cool details I'd love to show you.
Let's start with the porch framing. I'll meet you
All
over
right.
the porch. All right, Nate, so you don't see treated on the exterior houses very often. What do we got?
So these are 14-inch treated LVLs. So they're not made for below grade, but they're made for being outside.
Yeah.
You can use them for deck framing.
Cool.
So that really nice. This is the first time we've used them, actually.
And this is the front of the house, so it's not a deck, it's a porch, I guess, right?
Correct. Yep. So you come up on this porch. This is kind of the entryway. Kind of wraps around the whole house. We're going to have AZEK TimberTech decking on here, so it's going to look
nice.
sharp.
That's gonna be pretty, and I like
Yeah.
the view that you got here. Now, what's this black apron that I'm seeing on the front of your zip? What's going on here?
Yeah, so we got a detail here where we have a ledger board that we put on the house. So we actually use some spacers in here so no water can get trapped in there.
Is that those deck-to-wall spacers? They look like a hockey puck.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the center, and it looks like you got a, like you can see this lag right here.
Yes.
You got them lagged through there.
That's exactly right.
And then it's spacing it off, and then I'm guessing this is some kind of peel and stick?
Yeah, that's Zips. That's Huber's peel
Okay.
and stick. That's a roofing underlayment. We
Gotcha.
actually use it for an extra layer of protection there
Yeah.
against that wall.
You're just making sure this zip has lots of good protection.
You got it.
Very smart. And
Yep.
I like how you taped it with zip tape on the top too, because that zip tape is formulated perfectly to stick on the zip. And then you can see what he's got here. This is that zip R. This looks like maybe the 1 inch thick insulation version.
That's a 6.6. Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
And then couple that with a 2x6 wall, and we got some nice thick depth insulation on there.
Yeah.
That's
That makes
fabulous.
it nice. So this gives a layer of insulation all the way around the house. We don't have to use any spray foam on this, so we have that extra layer of insulation, and we'll just bat the inside.
That's awesome.
So
Now, talk to me about framing. In Ohio, in kind of this part of the Midwest, I think about a lot of maybe Amish crews or Mennonite crews. Are you seeing any of those crews around?
there's some of those crews around. Yep. We have our own crew of framing guys that have been with us for a long time. They just do real high quality work, and
That's
we can
awesome.
work with them really close. So
Good deal. Now, at this stage where you've got the Warmboard down, now you're not covering this for at least, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, or is there any worry about having that exposed top on the Warmboard?
we haven't had no problems with it. It's really durable. That aluminum, it gets a little, like, some dents and stuff in it from maybe rocks and stuff on it,
Right.
but it just really holds up well. And
Okay.
so if it gets wet, whatever, we can clean it smooth. Before we put the PEX in, we clean it out really well.
Yeah.
But no, it does really good.
That's
Yep.
awesome. Talk to me about conditions on the site. You know, today's a pretty chilly day.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of mud on my boots, but it kind of looks like you've made some ruts here in the foreground with your SkyTrack.
Yeah.
What's it like building here in this part of Ohio?
So it's a challenge in the wintertime, and we do a lot of things to be able to frame and keep working in the wintertime.
Yeah.
So we took a lot of preparation work on this driveway. We actually built this site up 3 foot.
Is that right? Wow.
So this is all fill dirt around this house. And in order to be able to frame on this, we had to come in and actually mix Portland cement with the dirt and put a solid base out here for these guys to drive in. So you see them rutting around a little bit, but if we didn't do that, they'd be down 3 feet with that thing stuck in the mud.
Is that right?
And then also on site, we had a huge tree line out here that we had to tear down. And so instead of just piling the trees and burning it, we actually mulched it all.
So smart.
And we put it around the house to keep down the mud.
Which makes perfect sense. I mean, on my feet now, all I'm stepping on is mulch, not a single bit of mud here.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
You want to know where I learned that?
Where'd that come from?
Well, there's this guy in Texas that was doing a house, and he put mulch down. I was like, aha!
Genius. I learned it from someone else too. There's no new ideas in
That
this
was from you,
business.
Matt. Appreciate that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, Nate, it's been really, really fun. I think we need to go find the rest of your crew and wrap up our time in Ohio together. It's been absolutely fabulous hanging out with you.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you coming out.
Nate, what a fabulous day checking out construction in Ohio. I got to say, if you're anywhere near Archbold, these guys, man, they do some fabulous work.
Thanks, Matt.
Very impressive. How about we close out the video here? It's been a lot of fun on this episode of Building Across America, seeing how we build in Ohio. If you're anywhere near Archbold, Ohio, and you want to find the best builder, you found him right here. He and his crew, amazing job. You know how I close out my videos so normally. I think we need a standard closeout on this video.
Well, I want everybody in on this one, Matt. I want the whole team to do this together.
All right, are they around? Let's get them.
Let's do it.
Come on, guys, let's go. All right, everybody. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on The Build Show.